You've been playing a lot of, or someone I know has been playing a lot of games, a lot of horror games.
That's just me.
That's just you?
In general.
Okay, I gotta know, how do you not get bored of just horror? Because you watch, how many horror movies you watch, or how many times you watch horror within a week?
You know the answer.
I want it for the camera.
Like at least, like, I don't know, a few times a week.
A few times a week. She needs to watch
that could
a
be
horror
anywhere
movie.
between 2 and 20.
I watched 2 films. I'd love to hear your opinion on them. No doubt you've watched them. They were like M. Night Shyamalan films. I watched on the plane. I watched one called like Night Crawler, Night Walker. What is it? Can you type M. Night Shyamalan? And then the other one was Trap, but the guy that's a serial killer. And they're trying to get him in the stadium.
No, that was stupid as shit.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
No, because then he kind of made it for his daughter, because the singer was his daughter.
Oh,
dude,
really?
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was watching that movie, and I was like, the moment she started acting, the film like went like, it was so bad.
Yeah, and I didn't understand it because then she's just like, I'm just gonna protect the serial killer. Okay, world famous pop star. Let me just help this serial killer.
So what's this film about?
You say it.
So, to be fair, the first 20 minutes I felt like they were really good. They're in a stadium, and his daughter is seeing a pop star that she really likes, akin to like Taylor Swift of this universe.
Yeah.
And then like he's like, I gotta get my daughter a T-shirt, and they're all sold out. And then he overhears from one of the staff who signed the T-shirts. He's like, hey, yeah, this whole concert was we put this whole concert on for a trap to catch the serial killer. And he's like, what? Like, what serial killer? And you slowly start to like think like, oh, is it him? And then they immediately lose all sanity because he goes into the toilet and opens up his phone where he has a camera pointing at his basement with a guy trapped in it. And I was like, this could have been so much better if you like, because he could have like slow burned it to make you realize he was the killer.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, and then basically it's about him. The first hour and a half is him avoiding everyone in the stadium, doing heinous shit. And then eventually the pop star gets involved, the one on stage, and they go to his house. And he's like, oh, don't you tell them I'm the serial killer.
Okay, random world famous pop star.
Yeah, who's in their house.
Yeah, just casually.
The security didn't go in. No one went in. And then it's just shit.
They never explained why she helped him either. She's like, oh, I'm trying to get away from the cops, and also I'm a world famous serial killer. She's like, okay, bet, let's go to your house. Like, it just, the progression.
And he escaped like 4 times.
Yeah.
He just
my
keeps
God.
escaping. It was shit.
So what was the twist in this one?
That he was the serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah, and to be fair, he was the best part of that film. He was a pretty good actor. But my God, I didn't realize it was his daughter. Jesus. Can you type M. Night Shyamalan films? He makes so many.
I don't know why
If you're talking about Nightwalker that guy Donnie Darko guy.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal?
Not
We
that
haven't
one?
seen that one. I haven't seen that one.
Hold on.
No,
Scroll
Nightwalker
down.
is the one where Jake Gyllenhaal is
It's the recent ones. Go scroll to recent films.
Jake Gyllenhaal
Trap?
is the
Not Trap. It's The Watchers. I watched The Watchers. You see
the
this one?
Watchers.
Can I say this in Nimina? Oh wait, is that Dakota Fanning?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Dakota Fanning's bad.
Did you watch this?
No.
Sucks. Damn it.
You're gonna watch it anyway, right?
No amount of Dakota Fanning will help.
Have I saw-
Did you like Abigail?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't watch Abigail.
Well, that was kind of a letdown for you.
I just saw it. I actually, this is the first time it ever happened. I was sponsored by the movie Abigail.
What?
What? Really? I really like it.
Promote it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really like it.
And you didn't watch it?
Yeah.
No, because it was like in America only.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
And I was promoting like to buy tickets. Yeah.
No, it's always funny because you watch like almost every horror movie that comes out, and Connor watches basically every film that comes out in cinemas. In Japan, at least.
Yeah.
And sometimes Connor will just talk about this random film he saw in the podcast, and he's like, "Yeah, this sucked." And then I will hear from you that you're like, "Oh, I really like that horror film."
Fuck,
Like
that was
I remember
fun.
what was that one film where it was just like this? It was a horror film, and this streamer was being replaced by like AI.
Fuck you. Which one? He's talking about Cam.
Cam.
We've had fun discussions about
I
it.
thought Cam was bad.
I think it's a good analogy. Okay, you know what? No, I'm not gonna go into it because you're not gonna. It's a good analogy.
It's
I know
bad.
sometimes cam girls can be like. It feels like.
No, it was not streamers. It was Cam girls.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cam Girl. Sorry.
Can you type it in,
Yeah.
Cam?
Cam.
Maybe. Okay.
Cam.
Also, like, I will recognize that. Like, I cannot. Like, and obviously, like, I feel like I'm a empathetic person, but it's really hard to put myself in the shoes of a Cam girl.
I think like yeah.
Fair enough.
Like,
Yeah.
I just like, and like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good.
I will say it doesn't like remain memorable,
No.
but it's a little thinker. It's a good like expression of cam girlism.
Think so?
I think so.
No.
Yes.
Okay, I need to know then your opinion because I recently watched it and I absolutely fucking despised it. What do you think of Longlegs?
Nobody likes Longlegs. Let's be
No,
honest,
but
Joe.
here's the thing. IMDb is like the most ADHD shit I've ever seen.
I know. That's why, honestly, I stopped believing in IMDb because of that.
What,
Because
6.5? Rotten Tomatoes, 88%.
Yeah,
as well.
88%.
This
on
is
Rotten
a movie
Tomatoes.
where it's either you think it's the worst piece of like fiction
It is.
that's ever been written, which I agree with. It's terrible. Or people are like, this is the modern day Silence of the Lambs.
So what is?
no, fuck. Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
You watched this in America, remember?
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's right. I watched it with my bro. Okay, so
Yeah.
essentially, it's about like this girl. The beginning was so good too. It actually
Yeah,
was. It's like this girl, this lady.
In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult
Yeah.
clues that she must
Yeah,
solve.
she has like
and the-
she has like psychic powers or
Yeah,
some shit,
and then
right?
they put the psychic power bullshit. She was like literally like a cop, and then she was like unveiling like the mysteries
"I just
behind
have psychic powers
the
now."
Longlegs, who's like a random. We don't know if he's real or if he's fake. Serial killer that's just killing a bunch of people.
Oh.
And then we find out she has psychic powers, and that's how she's able to track him. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's like, then we find
Shame.
out, spoiler alert, he gave her those psychic powers. And then it's like, to be fair, the best part of the movie was what's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. He's really freaky. Like when he's like in the end and he's like singing a song or something like that as like the
I like Nicolas
monster.
Cage. You know, the problem is sometimes when you're not smart, you can't write smart characters.
No.
Jesus.
And maybe like that's why you're like, how do we solve this crime in a smart way? I just
yeah.
don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
because the entire time I was like, okay, you're an FBI agent with psychic powers, and the FBI people are just like, yeah, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think they just believed her. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like, well,
It's like, oh, word,
she
all right.
provided no proof. And then they're just like, well, can you solve this? And she's like, I'll try. And then she didn't. They're like, well, are we gonna try again? Like, what?
There's so many questions in this movie. Like, I thought I was losing my mind because
Yeah.
I know so many friends who are like, yo, this movie's fucking awesome. It's a great, it's like, yeah, I think I saw on like a trailer or something, or maybe like a tagline or whatever, people were legitimately calling it the modern day Silence of the Lambs. Which was so fucking disrespectful.
It really is.
It's-
My God.
It's so bad.
Doing my man
I
Bill.
need you guys to watch this movie to prove that.
I was very close to watching this.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
Whenever I go to
You
the
need to watch it.
cinema, whenever I go to America, I'll just look at what's
to be
on,
fair,
and
it's
I'll just
shot
watch.
really nicely.
It
Yeah,
really
I
is
mean,
beautifully shot.
I mean, I thought we were going to watch this together, but you wanted to watch with your
Hey,
family.
I told you.
I know
I
you
told you,
did.
but you
I know
streamed
you
anyway.
did.
Do you
I
count-
know.
Do you count like Alien, like Romulus as a horror movie?
Yeah, I mean it is.
She doesn't like it unless it's like human
horror.
horror. There are so many times.
Alien Romulus is really good.
That like the thing with me and Sydney is I don't like horror movies.
Yeah.
And to Sydney, her definition of what horror is so vastly different to what my definition of
Because
horror is.
sometimes like thrillers aren't horror movies. Do you think they're horror
Half
movies?
the movies we watch, I'm like, honey, is this a horror movie? And she's like, no, it's a thriller. Someone gets fucking stabbed brutally within like the first 5 minutes. And I'm like, honey.
Action films too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't necessarily think thrillers are horror. Thriller is its own genre.
It can sometimes
Thriller
straddle
is
the line,
its
though.
own genre,
Yeah.
but
like Seven, the movie. I
no,
would
that's a
say.
thriller.
Yeah,
I don't count it
right.
as a horror.
Also, that's in cinemas right now in Japan.
Is it actually?
Yeah,
No
it's in cinemas
fucking
right now.
way.
Let's go.
Is there any horror film you want to shout out?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
What's
Come
like
on,
a
come on,
like a
you-
recent horror
Come
film
on,
that
you
like
have
stuck
one.
with
I'm
you?
asking you. I'm trying to like alley oop
Martyrs?
because yes, I fuck okay. I'm trying to like alley oop on like a film.
Isn't that like the really fucked up one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martyrs.
But it's a really
Martyrs.
good. Okay, I'm not gonna
Can
spoil
I see it? Can I
I've
see
heard it's like one of the most disturbing movies.
And
It
it's
is.
a really good analogy on like what. Okay, I don't want to spoil it though, but it's a really good. I really like.
Okay, so what's the concept of this movie?
So such. But I don't want to because
Is
it's
it a
like
spoiler?
yeah. But I mean, you didn't. You watched just like a synopsis.
The
of it.
2008
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
2000.
Oh,
It's
okay.
French.
It's very French.
I've seen a lot of like breakdowns of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I only know about this movie because I watched the spoiler on YouTube because it's way too fucking
Yeah, same.
disturbing for me. And I'm kind of glad I did considering some of the stuff that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the skinning
Least
thing?
traumatic.
Yeah, Doesn't
French
the girl
day.
get like skinned alive or
Oh,
something?
that's a little worse than that. But yeah,
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
Average
It
day in
is.
France.
I love friendship between women.
It is not for the faint of heart.
No, it is-
But it is something that you feel has a pretty.
Yeah, as a pretty
deep message.
It does. Like, okay, it's kind of like okay, so I guess one of the things that I like the most about this film is like you don't see from the very beginning where it's gonna go.
Okay.
Like it's not predictable at all. Like after 15 minutes, you're like, wait, what the fuck? And
It's
then
not just torture porn like something
no,
like
yeah, it's not.
Like Hostel or
like
something.
Hostel or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's not the only like torture. Okay, well, not maybe not the only torturous thing, but like there's like the big thing is like it had a meaning to it that I'm like after I kind of understood it, I'm like shit that kind of not saying I'd do it, but I'd say like it kind of makes sense.
Right. It wasn't
Ah,
just like
right.
senseless
I mean,
violence.
that's a
Yeah.
good
Right.
story when they are able
Yeah.
to make you
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah.
I get it.
No,
It's hard to watch, but it's like kind of also like
that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. Like that's cool and all, but I ain't watching it.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the stomach for this
Nah,
shit.
I'm good,
You know,
dog.
I'm sure the emotions you felt were super fucking.
Yeah.
I watched the YouTube reviews and I was just like, sounds cool.
Yeah,
I'm a pass,
That's
though.
why. That's why I'm glad that these YouTube synopsis people are
Yeah.
about to be like, Martyrs, explain. Let me just explain the entire plot for
Shout
you.
out
Yeah.
Spooky Rice, the goat.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
the goat. He's the reason why I don't have to watch half this shit.
But I will say part of why it's so hard to watch for Martyrs is because it shows how far humanity will go for answers on the afterlife.
Okay.
So maybe you guys just aren't intellectual enough.
Did you did you play Mouthwashing?
You know I played Mouthwash.
I was asking you. I don't know. If
You
did.
know I
I
play-
don't know if you did.
I did though.
Oh, it's pretty good. I liked it a
what's
lot.
I very much liked it.
It's basically a movie that is just a video game. It's like a 2-hour game where you're on this ship,
Yeah.
but it starts off with you playing a character and you purposefully crash the ship,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and then it keeps going between current and previous time.
Wow,
About
it's got really good reviews on
it's
Steam.
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
It was rated one of the best this year.
Oh,
last
shit.
year.
It's a phenomenal game.
Like,
It's,
as a
it is
horror.
just a movie. It's a
Right,
movie
right,
that
right.
you kind of click the dialogue and do a couple of things.
Kinda
I
like
think that's
goes-
called a visual novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's more along the lines of like close to like analog horror.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's so
see, I
good.
see.
Analog horror, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
The characters are phenomenal.
But I would say that this is more of a psychological horror than
yeah.
I love psychological horror is the goat.
It's
It is the
It
goat.
is the go.
Yeah,
It is the
I
go
agree.
to me. Like I much prefer
cool.
the psychological horror over just the, cheeky slasher film or
Yeah.
I mean, are slasher films still a thing? I guess they are.
Yeah. And the one just came out called Valentine's Day something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
I mean, it kind of came. It kind
really-
of came back with like Terrifier, right? Is that a
Yeah.
slash film?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
That was
the
actually
worst
one
of the worst slasher
That was
films.
actually one you
Like,
couldn't finish, right?
No,
Terrifier, the Terrifier.
I didn't like the spleen thing.
Right.
Have you guys watched it?
I have
No,
not
we
watched
haven't
it.
watched
Hold
it.
on
the
for a
best.
second. Wait, no, I'm not human. I was coming soon. I was like, wait, when was
I was
it
gonna
its
say,
own
I
game?
think that comes out in like March, doesn't it?
I want to
Hope
play
so.
that actually.
That is it's a freaky one.
Yeah.
It's a really fun, like 30 minutes experience.
Bro, when you see them outside your window and you're like, whoa, look
pretty-
at that fucked up guy. And then he comes closer and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I hope the full game is good.
Oh, it will be. If the demo was okay, you know what? I'm not gonna be cocky here.
Would you say you prefer horror games or horror movies?
Games.
Games?
Well,
It's so much more visceral with a game.
yeah, it
it's more
is.
scary.
Yeah.
Because you're in it.
That's why I can never handle horror games.
No.
I'm like,
But it's like also there's not many like okay,
You'd like this one, Gaunt.
yeah.
yeah, I probably would. I enjoyed Mouthwashing because that was a little bit more on the psychological side. I'm kind of realizing, I think I like analog horror. Analog horror is something that's like tickles
It was like little
Do you know what this is, Joe? Have you seen
Yeah.
this?
I have seen footage of this. Yes. Yeah.
tickles the part of my brain that I'm like, ooh,
that
this
brain
makes me uncomfortable, but
Mm.
I really, really love it.
Yeah.
So to the audio listeners who are talking about, no, I'm not human.
No, I'm not human.
No.
I mean, my favorite horror game of all time is probably Soma.
Oh yeah, I've been
and-
talking about that in Trash Taste.
Yeah, and that's just something that
Have you guys not played Soma?
No.
You guys are missing out.
we played on stream.
Yeah,
That's-
Is it good?
Oh, it's one of the best of the best.
How long is it?
It's long.
No, it's not that long. It's like 8 hours.
not- What?
Then why did it take you days to play it?
Because I was
He takes his time.
I was enjoying my time, and also it was I kept getting scared, and then and I was
Dude.
like needing a break.
Talk
I was
about-
like,
okay, talk about fucking scary games, bro. Subnautica was terrifying.
holy
I
shit!
haven't
You
played it
played
yet.
I just
Subnautica.
finished
Let's
it.
go.
That was terrifying.
I fucking love that game.
But it's
and
just
that,
like the creatures or what?
It's because you're just like
Just
you
deep
are,
water.
dude. It's like okay, there's a fucking beacon. So you start off in this nice, lovely like under the sea kind of ass area.
Yeah.
Like it's like all tropical. It's
Okay,
nice.
Little Mermaid, let's go.
It's super fun to like live, and then they're like, oh, we have a distress beacon 300 meters away, but it's 200 meters deep, and you haven't gone 200 meters deep yet. And so the deeper you start going, the less light there is from
Yeah.
the surface. It just starts to get dark. starts to get more dangerous, if things get weirder, like it's
How
fucking
weird?
terrifying.
Like sexy?
Yeah,
or-
No, not sexy, Sydney. You know, you
It's
start
like-
off, it looks like that, and you're like, oh, that's nice, and then it gets like,
Yeah.
gets like that, you know, and
But
then
like it's
that
when
just the
you
sea in
it's the
general?
idea of wandering into the unknown, because I don't think this is meant to be a horror game. It's just that
No.
the sea is just fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And this just gives you the example, the experience of just diving through an unknown ocean.
What's
and
that guy doing? Oh, yeah.
and I think the scariest part
So
about
good.
this is that you can't really fight the monsters.
Oh.
right?
Some of them.
Some of them. You can unlock some things, but you can't like some of the bigger monsters, there's no way to
Yeah.
there's no way to kill them. You can only just like distract them or fight them off a bit, but you can't actually you are in the closest sense of the word, you are defenseless.
Right,
you know?
right.
How long is the game?
30 hours.
Yeah, about
shit.
30 hours.
That's a full game.
It's
Oh, it
really
is.
good.
It's a
It
game
is.
ass game.
What's a Leviathan? I've heard people be like, "Oh, it's as scary as a Leviathan in like Subnautica," and I'm like, "Is that just a fish?"
You just
You-
you're like you see nothing and you hear noises of like this fucking beast.
Yeah.
And then it like attacks you.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And you have no idea where it's
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah, you just
like that.
it's the deep scary ocean, and then
Get that shit away
and
from
then
me.
you don't know where danger's gonna
It's
come from.
almost scarier when you're in like the thing called the sea moth. That's fucking terrifying being in that because you
Yeah.
feel like you're in this like fucking little tube
Yeah,
and you just hear these noises from outside. It's absolutely terrifying. So it's got images, and then it maybe hopefully you get like some that are like POV. Yeah, like that.
yeah, it's just like this tiny submarine.
Ugh.
Look at that
And,
like,
guy.
you're
And the
fucking
thing that's scary about this is when you go deep. So this machine is like designed to go to a certain depth.
Yeah.
But if the machine breaks when you're like thousands of meters down, you are fucked. So it's basically death.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So it's just as scary as just going in without any protection.
Ocean game.
Yeah, I'm good
Yeah.
at it.
It's so good.
I'll pause.
No, honestly,
good.
it's
It's
one
good.
of the best games I've ever played.